Hi, welcome back. This is Enda, and this is the third episode of the Yarn and the Restless. And I have not called it that the first two episodes. I kind of view this as my project diary, so I haven't been calling it by a title, and I kind of don't feel like it's a knitting podcast. It is, but it's definitely more so just my project diary, and that's fine. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching my previous ones. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. It really means a lot to me. And I only have a few work in progresses to show this week. I've been working on stuff all week. I don't know, but I also brought out some projects that I want to reknit, both designs that I designed and one of them I'm just going to leave as is, and the other one I want to completely rip all the yarn out and reuse. So I'll show those two. I have a little bit of sewing and a little bit of spinning. I have the spinning stuff right in front of me, so that's what I'm going to get into first. And before I actually show any fiber that I have spun, I'm going to show something that I bought. I bought it yesterday, and I don't know how it arrived in the yarn today so fast. I understand that the farm is like an hour away from me, but that's fast. And this is some British Shetland natural black undyed, I guess of course it's natural, but it's undyed wool roving combed, and this is what it looks like. It's pretty magnificent. I bought 8 ounces. It was really inexpensive too. It was like $7 per 4 ounces. And I'm not sure if I can get a whole sweater out of this, but I think maybe I could. If not, I'll buy more. But this is a lot of fiber. I guess it depends on like how I spin it, which I don't feel like I have control over. But this is really smelly too. I've never smelled fiber this intense before. It smells not just like the farm, it smells like sheep poop. I usually love the smell of fiber, but I've never worked with natural undyed, so all of the fiber I've used has had some sort of processing to it, and this hasn't, and it's ripe. I quite love it though, and I'll try to keep you and me updated on here with how spinning goes. And shout out to the farm that sent this so fast. It's a lot of fiber. Okay. The farm is actually called Beesybee Farm. So Beesybee Farm, but Beesebee Fibers, not farm. But I'll put their website down below. And yeah, I highly recommend. I mean, I'm not that far, so it got to me really fast, but the deals are pretty good. They have also dyed ones and different colored ones, like all together as well for a little bit more. But hold on, I don't even know if I'm gonna be able to get this back in this little tiny bag. That's okay. The other fibers are obviously more expensive, but the natural undyed ones, it's a really good deal. Another bag. This is the blue fiber that I was spinning up last week that I have just continued to fill up this bobbin. I was so proud of my consistency last week, and I'm still proud of it, but it's a little all over again. That's okay. I don't care, it's okay. I can't wait to continue to make more, use all this fiber up and ply it together and see what happens. And now that I have somewhat of a grasp for spinning, and more so like the bug to spin, I pulled out my blending board, which I bought a few years ago before I even knew how to spin, which when I pulled it out, I was like, wow, I can't believe I own this, and clearly I wanted to learn how to spin, so I'm really glad that here I am doing so. I pulled that out and I was making some rollags out of like a mixture of brown, black, red, and yellow, which is like such moody colors together, but a few years ago that's what I was making, and I pulled all my fiber out, and that's kind of like all I really had to work with, so I just continued to make some rollags in those colorways. And this is what it looks like. It's really pretty, actually. I made a few, but I'm only gonna like hold up 2. And I started spinning with them. And this is what it looks like. Do my best. That's what it looks like. I think it's really, really pretty. I love the way the colors are blended together, and I'm so glad that I have this blending board, because now I can really go to town with making my own multicolored yarn, which is just opening like a whole other door that I don't really know if I need to be opening up, but it's fun. So like, why not open all the doors to all the fun in your life? Why not? Okay, crinkle, crinkle, hold on. Can't have any moths anywhere. This is like the most I support plastic. Okay, I'm gonna show a sewing project that I've been working on. I showed in the first episode the beginning small square with like half triangle star quilt. Jeez. And this morning when I woke up, I just like had the sewing bug, and I just sat down and went at it, and I wanted to turn that square into a bag, and I did. I just haven't made the straps for it yet, so this is what it looks like now. Cute. This is what the back looks like. This is a little vintage button that I had in my stash. I believe it was made in Japan. And I lined it, so this side just has the plaid. And this side has the blue with 2 more little pockets. I won't be able to show this very well, but here it is. Almost a finished object. I can technically use it as a little project bag, but I can't, like, clearly I can't put it over my shoulder and take it with me. But this morning was like the first thing I did in the morning for a few hours, and it was time to get up and eat and stuff. So I know better than to rush a sewing project. I mean, I don't know better, but I know that good things don't come from that, so I slowed myself down, which is incredible. And I will make the straps when I feel up to it. Probably not today, and that's okay. So I was working on the newborn sweater, like little wrap cardigan, And here it is. It's so tiny. I'm almost done with this half before I put all these stitches on hold. It is a paid for pattern, so I guess I need to stop on, like, I was about to describe the entire way it's constructed. But this is like half of the front already. So cute. I love how stretchy it is, and I love the 2-color stitch pattern. These are the yarns that I'm using, and I personally have been thinking about how I want to go about talking about the yarn that I'm using, and I have decided that I don't want to really disclose like what brands and maybe like the price point. I just don't want to talk about the brands. I don't really care. And saying that, I mean, I watch a lot of knitting podcasts on here, and I love hearing and seeing that. So I'm sorry that I don't feel like doing it. I've never watched somebody talk about a specific yarn and then like had the urge to be like, I need to go buy that. I must have that too. A type of attitude towards it. It actually makes me think about how I don't want to spend that much money on yarn, especially with like these like most popular wool brands and like specific yarns that big designers use for their designs. Most of the time that yarn is beautiful and beautifully made, just expensive, and I don't think it's necessary to use any specific yarn for anything. I think what's most important is obviously meeting your gauge, and like the weight and the fiber based on what the garment or design is. So I think that's what I want to focus on, and I don't really want to talk about the brands. I'm sure that's not always gonna be the case. I'm sure I'm gonna get really excited about something that is like gifted to me or that I buy for some special reason, or if I happen to work with another company. I know that I talked about Fiberco's yarn when I worked with them on the amble sock that I designed. There's like a time and a place for it. I just don't think that I want to get into what yarn I'm using for every single project. And with that, this is the cute little baby sweater I'm making. And this is the yarn. I couldn't even tell you what weight this is, so I don't know. It's like, what needle size am I using? I'm using a 3.25 millimeter needle, so it's like fingering weight. That's what's going on. So there's that. I'm sorry if you can hear outside. It is like 1:30 in the afternoon on a weekend, so there's stuff going on. I'm going to briefly show this one because I work on this kind of in between things, and when I don't need to focus on knitting, how do I say that? Like, I work on it when I take it to work, in between things, when I have a minute, or when I'm walking, or when I'm watching something and I want to move my hands. This is usually what I'm working on, and it still has a bit to go. It's pretty fast knit, but I just have so many other projects going on that I'm not always looking for like what is called a potato chip knit. I'm engaged in too many things, but I'm still working on this, and the determination to wear it is greater than the desire to knit it, so it will happen. It will happen. That's that. Okay. This is probably gonna be a slightly shorter episode because I'm already, oh, I have one more work in progress and then I'm already done talking about what I'm actually knitting. I'm knitting on a bunch of other things that I can't really show yet. I pulled out a sweater I started designing a couple years ago, and I started to like go to town on it, and hopefully I'll be able to finish that sometime soon, and then I will show it, but I won't be showing like things I'm currently designing until they're done, or if I plan on publishing it for free. And yeah. I found something to make with this orange cotton that I have been talking about. I originally thought I wanted to make something for my friend's soon to be baby, but I had decided to make I want to say for her, but there's a part of me that might want to keep it, and I don't know if she watches this, but if she does, I'm sure she wouldn't be upset if I made it and then decided to keep it. But it started making, it's a free pattern from Purl Soho. It is a like little hand towel. It looks like this. I really like the texture, and I really like following a chart and being a little more engaged in my knitting, and I don't always want to do color work, even though I love color work very, very much. And I find it like, because I do so much color work, I find it kind of astonishing how fast this goes because it's just knit and purls. This is the progress. It's a little scrunched up, but you can definitely see it. I love it, and I would like to give it to my friend who is having her first child, so she can have like a beautiful little hand towel. I don't know, like when burping the child or breastfeeding, or just for her. Like, I just want to make it for her, but I'm kind of falling in love with it too. I'm already making the newborn sweater, so we shall see what happens, whether or not I keep this or if she gets it. But I'm really into it, and I think making hand towels is something that I kind of always wanted to do, but was like, I'm never going to. Like, I'd rather make something I can wear. But having hand knit hand towels, especially in like this beautiful texture, seems dreamy to me. It just seems so lovely, and I feel like that's where I want my life headed. So we'll see. So there's that. That pattern is for free on Purl Soho, so if you want to make one too, you totally can. Okay, also wait, I haven't worked on anything. 4.5 millimeters isn't like that big, but I've been working on such small needles too that that's also kind of blowing me away, that this is going by quite quickly, because it's like a couple rows is like an inch, and that's really cool. Okay, I didn't bring anything to drink, and my throat is kind of dry from talking so much. That's okay. Next time I won't make that mistake. So I wanted to show a couple of projects that I have designed that I want to do again. And let me just tie these up real quick. I can't remember when I made this. I feel like it had to have been 2021. I'm pretty sure. And I did mess up on the color work. There's like a few rows where the color work is just like totally off a couple stitches, and it looks pretty funky. But I had made this. It's got a lot of lint all over it. it is what it is. The color work down here, I guess you can't really tell. No, it's over here. It's like kind of glitching a bit right there, but it's okay. I want to make this again. That's what the back looks like. I want to do a couple of things differently. For one, I feel like the black and red combination is just like a little too intense for me. It's beautiful. It's just like kind of moody in a way that, I don't know, I'm kind of liking it now. Okay, so colors aside, I don't want there to be the waist shaping. If it goes in a little bit from like here to the armpit, I don't want that. I want it to be straight. And I don't think I want color work on it. And I think a third bow would be nice, and the I-cord strings could be shorter. I didn't do any edging. I know it's kind of hard to see on the dark yarn, but I didn't do any edging along the neck edge. I don't know why. That's weird. I gotta do something there. I do like the folded hem. It's so linty, sorry. I just want to do it slightly different, but I do like that look. I think that's like the best part of this. I ran out of the black yarn that I was using, so I used like some other black yarn I had to finish it. I don't even know what part, but I don't remember if that substitute black yarn when I ran out had like an acrylic blend to it, so I also can't like steam this not knowing, and that's annoying to me. I never wear it, and I want to redo it, and I'm putting it on here because I want to hold myself accountable for at least thinking about this a little bit more. If I don't end up doing it, then it wasn't meant to be. I'm not going to get mad at myself, but I think I can do something a lot better here. And that was like some of the very beginning makes of me learning how to knit, so I love it for that. And I'm not going to rip that one back. It exists. I might wear it, I might not, it doesn't matter. I might give it to my niece. We'll see. The next thing I have is another thing that I designed. It's in this plastic bag, so let me get it out. And quite a bit went wrong with this, and it was a huge project. And I definitely want to rip this all out so I can reuse the yarn to remake this exact garment, just with a ton of edits. I might need to like stand up to show this because it's not like a duster length cardigan, but it is like below the butt, or intended to be below the butt. I love the color work for it that I made with it. There's a motif that I created myself on here. Okay, I'm gonna kind of go off to the side to try to show. So I had made up this little star thing. It's not like the most innovative new thing. Hold on, let's see. It has pockets. This is the yarn from the sleeve, which one day I just like ripped the needles out so I could use them for something else. That's a great point, starting point to frogging this all back. It has pockets. It has these like big kind of groovy flowers at the bottom. This was a really big, I don't know how to describe that. When I first started knitting, I could not be bothered with ribbing. Like, I would not make it long enough. This is just like a few rows of ribbing and it curls up because it's like not long enough. I know better now. I'm sorry, you can probably hear my cats laying on that plastic bag, but they love plastic. There is like a row of eyelets for this, which I love. This I-cord drawstring. What I don't love about this is that instead of making it straight, I added shaping and I work this from the bottom up. So the bottom like flares out a ton, kind of like a dress. And I started to like try to take it in. Oh my goodness. I tried to like take it in a little bit instead of ripping back, and it just made like this weird shape thing going on. Terrible. It did not need any shaping. It could have been this wide the entire way up, especially since I had this to cinch it in at the waist. Easy peasy. I don't know why I did that. This is one of the first things I ever designed, and it's pretty big. It's a pretty grand design, and I really want it to exist. And I know so much more now about knitting and designing that I gotta do this again. Oh my goodness. What is happening here? Hold on. How is that even possible? There's a row of stitches that is undone, but it doesn't even look like it should belong there. Like, it's 2 rows and then there's like one in the middle and that one's undone. I don't even know how that happened. Another reason to pull this all out. Also, this color yarn, I don't know if anybody on here that's watching knew about Knit Crate. It was like a monthly yarn subscription. I don't think they exist anymore. I feel like they had a really hard time during the pandemic, and they were kind of, to my knowledge, they were kind of new before the pandemic, so that kind of hit them really hard. I got this color yarn from them, and you don't get to see, obviously that stuff's not in any store, so you don't get to see it, and it definitely looked a little bit different than it does in real life. Like, it has this like kind of like greenish beige color to it. I really like it. It's just not what I was expecting, and that's all I have to say, I guess. I just wanted to point that out, that that's a weird color. It's gonna be a nightmare undoing this. I also think I would do it because I did it pieced and I seamed it up. Perhaps I would do it in the round next time, but I just want to put that on here too, that I want to redo this. I really love it. It just is it's exciting. It feels so magical to me, and I want to wear it like out in the trees. So that's that. Those are 2 things that I want to redo. I talked about editing the crochet shruggy that I showed, I think maybe in my first episode, and I didn't bring it out here, but I think I might wear it next week. I did rip back the sleeves like I wanted to, so that's exciting. And I'm not sure if I'm just gonna leave them where they are or make them long and taper them in instead of having the big bell, but we'll see. I just wanted to like talk about things that I wanted to edit or redo, because that's a huge part of knitting as well. Like, it's not just like, oh, I made this and it's perfect and it's beautiful, especially as somebody that is, I've been knitting for 3 years now. That's like not that long of time, and I had a little bit of a background in sewing and garment construction, and I had crocheted my whole life, so like all those things did come together when I started to knit and design, but I still had a lot to learn. And with that, it's just like also totally okay to go back and look at your work and fix things, or learn more about what you could have done differently or what you plan on doing differently. It's just nice. I think that's all I can handle. My throat is so dry. I did buy little microphones for doing this, and they're gonna arrive today. I just couldn't wait for them to arrive to record with better audio, because I didn't feel like it. But next week I do plan on wearing it, and hopefully that will make things sound a lot better. I feel like when I post these and I listen to them a little bit, they sound fine to me, but they can sound a little bit better, and I can't wait to do that. So thank you so much for watching and looking at all my projects with me, and I hope it has inspired you in some way, or showed you what not to do. I would love to hear about things that you're making, and if you want to follow me on the socials, that stuff's down below, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye, thank you.